Michigan Interchange is the segment along I-75 that connects the highway and the local roads to the port of entry for the Gordie Howe Bridge. We're building 4 ramp bridges that connect I-75 to the port of entry. The ones north of Fort are steel girder bridges with concrete decks, and the ones south of Fort Street are concrete girder bridges. So a ramp is like any other bridge. It's made up of abutments with piers in between the abutments that hold up the spans, which are made of girders, and then bridge decks are poured on top, and parapet walls are poured on top of those, and then finishes such as light poles and signage and stripes and everything that goes on. For the earthwork, bulldozers, front-end loaders, excavators, and dump trucks are used. And then when we start to erect the girders, cranes varying from 80 tons all the way up to 500-ton cranes were used on the project. And then we use concrete trucks and pumps. Most of the concrete is pumped on the bridges. Ramp B will route northbound traffic to the POE from I-75. Ramp A will return traffic to I-75 from the POE. Ramp D will route traffic from southbound I-75 to the POE, and Ramp C return traffic from I-75 to the POE. Ramp C is the longest ramp. It is 997 feet long, varies in height from 15 feet to 24 feet at its highest. A and C will join before going over the NS Railroad tracks to enter the POE. Likewise, B and D will split after leaving the POE. Where Ramp B and Ramp D come together, forming one ramp, it is 1,300 foot long, and its highest point, 23 feet, where it crosses the railroad track. The MSE walls and some of the abutments have a pattern that is the shape of the Fort Wayne fort. There are 40,000 cubic yards of concrete that are going to be poured for the ramp bridges, which is going to be about 9 million pounds of concrete and 11 million pounds of epoxy-coated rebar. So far, the ramps are complete up to Fort Street from I-75. The other side, we're still tying rebar and installing bridge pans in preparation to pour concrete into the POE. It's very challenging, but at the same time, it's really rewarding. My dad was a member of the local 25 Ironworkers Union here in Detroit. He built stuff like the Renaissance Center, and he helped change the skyline in Detroit as well. So for me to be a part of such a great project as this, to be able to change the skyline of Detroit and the gateway to Detroit, it gives me chills just thinking about, I can talk to my dad about it, and he's always excited to see what we're doing here and kind of keep the tradition alive of building trades in my family.